welcome back to this auditorium of Udaipur Architecture Festival 2020. We've had great session with architect Kazumo from Japan till now, and he talked about going global. So we thought let's continue the process of going global and let us learn how to form a form. Okay, it's a twister. Okay, how to form a form, and this is the basic that we learned back in our colleges, and somewhere it got lost in our practice. So why don't we do it? Okay, let's welcome for this origami. We want to do it through an origami workshop session which will be held today as well as tomorrow, and we have a great dignitary from origami field. He's one of the very well known, very famous origami artists, Mr. Paul Jackson. He travels all the way from Israel, though virtually, but hopefully when we go non-COVID, we go for a normal version, we will have him in Udaipur very soon. So over to you, Mr. Jackson. Why don't you introduce yourself? Rather than we thought, let's go informal. This is a festival, not a conference. So let us not do those PowerPoint presentation and show when you were born and what did you do. Rather, you should talk about your journey of origami, and then we talk about it, and then we'll share the link later. So please, over to you, Mr. Paul.
Good, thank you very much, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I understand that this is very international. So yes, I am a paper.
I'm sorry, I'm just interrupting. Right now we have 1800 plus registrations, and we have had 500 plus people as audience in the session 1. So this count is going to rise or whatever it is, but it is going to stay around 300. So be prepared, Paul sir, that you are going to be talked about with so many people. Okay, so thank you, and over to you.
Well, I hope they say nice things at the end. Yes, I'm an origami artist, a paper artist. I started out by doing origami, making animals and flowers and models. But my training is fine art. I'm an artist by training. And since I was a student, I've looked for ways to apply folding techniques, as I call them, the origami techniques, to design. And since I left college many years ago, I've done a lot of teaching and working with professionals to apply this idea of folding, not necessarily in paper, to other materials, because I think there are many advantages of this way of working and also of this way of thinking. So what we're going to do for the next hour or so is to fold paper. Yay! But you need paper. So what I need you to have is just regular copy paper, A4 copy paper, or 8.5 by 11 if you're in America. Just regular white copy paper, or maybe a notebook or something you can use that's easy to fold and maybe not very expensive, just 10 or 15 or 20 sheets, as many as you can get. And at the end, I'm going to give you a project, and we'll see the results of the project tomorrow when I come back. So this is in 2 parts, this presentation, today and tomorrow. So yes, I'm going to show you a few different techniques of folding. And I'll show you why nearer the end. I don't want to tell you the end of the story at the beginning. First of all, I want us all to fold. I'll teach you how to make some simple generic folds that you can play with yourself. I'm not teaching you fixed models that you copy, because that's not very creative, is it? So I'm going to teach you a few generic techniques. And as we go through, we'll see how far we get, and then hopefully you can take some photographs of this and upload them later, and we'll talk about them tomorrow. So please, A4 paper. Now I need to move my camera, which is on top of my monitor here, so just give me a few seconds. This is all very high tech, garden cane, got some poster tubes left and right. I'm very, very low tech. The way that I work is very simple, but I'd like that because not much can go wrong. And then move the camera. So, okay, no vomiting. just pull it. It's stuck on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then what do? I need to put this on here. So okay, just bear with me for a little bit while I get this right. And then I need to adjust the angles and everything to get something that looks kind of okay. Okay, so can you see my hands, my two hands? Now there's a very nice kind of joke here that I like, a linguistic joke. Now I'm British, as you might hear from my accent, and I was educated in the UK, and I learnt Latin, as many people of my generation did. And there's a very nice Latin word, digitus, digitus. Now, digitus is the root of digital. And we talk about digital media, digital art, the digital world. We create digitally. What does it mean? Well, if you know Latin, then you'll know that digitus means finger. It's the Latin word for finger. So when we talk about the digital world, digital media, we're talking about the finger world, the finger media. And I love the irony of that. I mean, I'm British, I do irony. But something so high-tech, the digital world, actually just means making things with your fingers. So I describe paper folding as the original digital art, because you're using your digits to fold paper. Right, so I just love the irony of that something so low-tech, where you're just working with your fingers to make something, means something very high-tech. Okay, so A4, do you have some? I hope you do. And if you're sitting there watching, you're going to get very frustrated at this. It's not fair, I want to do this as well. So, okay, A4. Now, A4 is too big. We need A5, or half of 8.5 by 11, if that's what you're using. So just fold in half. And if you have a hard surface to work on, that would be good, you know, rather than doing it in the air. So I've got this sort of cutting mat here. Makes me look professional. Okay, now there are two folds. There are mountain folds, which is what this is, because it looks like a mountain. And if we turn the paper over, it's a valley fold. Now, the quick-witted among you may notice that it's the same fold. Yes, it's the other side of the sheet. So mountain and valley are the same fold. It's the side of the sheet you see it from that makes it mountain or valley. So, okay, mountain fold, valley fold. Now we need to tear this or cut it in half. So what I do is I make a valley fold, and then I turn the valley to a mountain, and I use my nails to give a good strong fold. And then from the edge, just tear a few millimeters, just a little bit, and I put it down, and it should tear. Please. What a professional. Okay, so two A5s. So most of the time we're going to be making A5 sheets, and this is the way to do it. If you have A5 paper, I guess you could use that. Okay, so let's put one to the side, using our digital artists here, fingers. What we're going to do, we're going to make one fold. Now it really doesn't matter where you put it. This is where people panic. Okay, because no, I'm not telling you what to do. So you might want to make a long fold, or maybe something shorter. Perhaps not right in the corner. That's just being weird, isn't it? You know. So something that goes from edge to the opposite edge rather than edge to neighbouring edge. So I don't know what. This. Okay, I've done that. So of course everybody copies me, but you know, do what you want. Now, what we've done immediately is we've made a surface into a form, haven't we? And there's no fixed shape to this. So every, you know, half a degree that I turn this through, then I'm making a different shape. So, you know, it's always changing as I move it. There is no fixed form for it. So this is one of the kind of interesting things about folding, that you're not just folding flat and this is it. You're folding to any kind of angle. So even something as simple as this has many iterations. You can really put this into many, many, angles. Okay, but it's not very interesting by itself. So we're going to make another fold. So keep this folded. Now the second fold is important, because the one thing you don't do is make a fold 90 degrees to the first one. How do you know it's 90? Oh, so please watch. Don't do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. So 90 is when you fold it back on itself, isn't it? So the new fold will be 90 degrees. Don't do that, okay? So what we're doing instead is to make a fold at another angle. So I'm doing something like this. Can you see that fold? So it's not at 90 degrees to the first fold. Doesn't really matter where you put it. Good strong fold. Now the nice thing about folding paper is if you get it wrong, you just throw it away and do it again. So it's not like you spent half an hour with AutoCAD or something. It takes you seconds. So when I'm working with students or professionals, which I do quite a lot, then this is what I call rapid prototyping. Just cycling through variations and ideas fast. Okay, open it out. Now what you'll see is this pattern of folds, and I want you to hold it so it looks like a letter Y. Can you see my letter Y? So I'm going to get another sheet here. This is my notes sheet. So a letter Y looks something like that, doesn't it? So when you look at the paper, you'll see a letter Y. Maybe the arms are tight, maybe the arms are nearly straight, but you'll see a letter Y. Now what I want to do is to make all these arms of the Y mountain folds. So at the moment, I've got 3 valleys. Can you see that? So I'm turning over. So I've now got 3. So I've got a long mountain fold, and I've got this here, which is also a mountain. But my other arm of the Y is a valley. Can you see it here? This is a valley. So I need to change it. I need to pick up the paper and change that arm from a valley to a mountain. So I've now got 4 mountains. Everything is a mountain. Everything is a mountain. So somewhere in there is my letter Y, and I have a shape with 4 mountains. And again, this is, oh, actually mine stands up. Ooh, can't see that very well in the camera, but it stands up. Perhaps this way as well, or this way. Ooh, yeah. So it keeps standing on its edge. That's nice, isn't it? Okay, 4 mountains and a letter Y. Now, when you look at my Y here on the yellow paper, I've only got 3 folds. There's a 4th. So the 4th goes in the middle of the Y. Now this 4th fold should be a valley. Now at the moment it's a mountain. So here's my letter Y. This is my 4th fold here. In fact, it's the longest on my paper. This needs to be a valley. So I have to push the paper in and turn that mountain to a valley. And when I do that, magic, the paper will fold flat. It collapses into itself. So I have a letter Y with 3 mountains. And then this 4th fold that's between the arms of the Y is a valley. So I have to make it a valley. I have to turn the fold from a mountain to a valley. Show it who's the boss. So the paper will then go flat. When you do that, the paper will go flat. So we have something much more complicated than we had before with just 1 fold. We have this form that will collapse and open out in 3 dimensions. It's in a rather interesting way. So again, we have a form here that can be almost flat or a little bit folded, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, to flat. So this is collapsible and it will deploy, it will open out. So this structure here, this letter Y with 3 mountains that make the Y and a valley fold between the arms of the Y, this structure is a very common fold in origami. If you know origami, it's a reverse fold, because you have to reverse one of the folds from mountain to valley. So we can play with that a little bit, can't we? So this is my first sample. Take my other A5 and okay, so I'm going to close my eyes. You can't see this, but I'm doing it on this, and I'm just going to fold this. Oh dear, that's very boring, isn't it? That's nearly in half. That's nearly in half, but you know, do whatever you want. Okay, so this is the first fold. Now the second fold, if you remember, must not be perpendicular. So it could be a small angle, a bigger angle, a bigger angle, bigger angle, but not at 90. So here, or even on the other side, you can fold on this side, can't you? It can be here, bigger, 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 smaller, smaller. So you've got either on the left or on the right to make the fold, and it doesn't need to go to the middle of the first fold. It can go towards the right or towards the left. Now, if you go really towards the end, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Just doing a little, you know, V shape in the corner. So I guess you, what I call, keep it comfortable. So you don't go too extreme, not at first. So somewhere in the middle. Okay, I'm right-handed, so I, you know, use my right side. Just make a fold at some angle. A bit bigger, maybe. Yeah. Down there. So that's my second, but yours is probably different unless you're copying the teacher's pet. Turn over. So we look. Oh, it's there. There is the letter Y. I was looking for it, but I'm looking at it already. So can you see my arms of the Y here? Now, the 3 arms of the Y need to be mountains. So this arm is a valley. I need to turn it to a mountain. Turn this to a mountain. So my 3 arms are now mountains, and my set of folds are all mountains, aren't they? Every fold, the 4 folds are all mountains. So, okay, you remember what to do? The 4th fold should be a valley. Which of these folds is the valley? Well, it's the fold between the arms. So the arms make this V shape, and this is now the fold here at the top that should be a valley. So I have to put my thumb or finger now inside and just fold it to a valley, and magic, it goes flat. Yay! Okay, that's how it goes flat. So we have 2 here very different forms, and there are, you know, thousands of these that you can make, of course, and it all depends on your first fold, on your second fold, the angle and the placement of the second fold, and also the shape of the sheet. You know, why do I need to use an A5? I can use a square, a circle, a long thin shape. I can use a pentagon, a hexagon. I don't have to use A5, do I? So changing the shape of the sheet, changing the position of the first fold, the angle of the second fold, gives you quite a few permutations, even with this simple idea. So here it's flat, but they will both open out to being completely flat. They will deploy. So we have some movement here. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be you know, something that will move. It can be fixed in position. So even something like this, as simple as it is, oh yeah, oh, it stands up. Hey, woo. That way is a kind of negative form. Quite interesting to play with these. We'll play with them later. I don't want to do too much at the moment. So all these things that you make, please keep them. Just put them to the side so we can play with them later. Because I'm going to move the camera again to play with them near the end. Okay, so we have these 2. So this is our first technique, where we make a letter Y by folding the paper somehow, and then a second fold goes into the first fold at an angle, never perpendicularly. Okay, so let's keep those. I'll put them to the side, get rid of that, and we need some more A4. Now this time you need 2 sheets of A4. 2 sheets. So 2 sheets. Oh, I've got 3. So yeah, take one away. 2 sheets. And together, okay, 2 sheets here in case you can't tell. 2 sheets. Fold in half to make a 5. And then somehow tear it in half, or cut it if you've got something. I actually cut using one of these. It's a Sabatier kitchen knife. It's not serrated, and it's a little dull, so I can't hurt myself, and I kind of slice through. Don't ask me how many times I've been arrested carrying this. Going through airports with this is not a good idea, I can tell you. Yeah. Stupid traveller. Okay, so we now have 4 A5s. 4 A5s. We only need...
In the meantime, by the time he's back, we'll just run a few videos of all the architects, what feelings they carry when it comes to architecture based on their life experiences. So let's hear them out. Until then, let's wait. So my studio guys are arranging that video. You'll be able to see that. We are extremely sorry. These are things beyond our control, and we were expecting this actually. Today morning only I got this message that there may be a problem. So just hold on, please. Architecture is all about making lives. For me, architecture follows lives and lives follow architecture. It's we who design spaces and we transform people's lives. That is something great, and no other art form does that as much as architecture does. This is one of the art forms. It's called Mother of Arts. And why? Because it's present in everybody's life. Everybody on the globe has first-hand experience of what architecture is all about. And this is what we here are for, to celebrate architecture, create lives, make lives and transform lives. And we celebrate architecture at Udaipur Architecture Festival. Udaipur!
My definition of architecture has been dynamic over the years. Sometimes it was form follow function, sometimes it is functions follow form. But over a period of time, since it's been 20 years now, there has been a gradual shift, especially for certain cases, towards form follows function. These cases of architecture have inspired me at times to try something different, try something iconic. And this is a path that I've been treading for the last 2-3 years. Thank you.
Architecture has brought essence to my life. Essence in the sense where I can portray my ideas into reality. So basically what I do is what I thought is what I dreamt of. So everything is in line. That's the beauty of architecture. Welcome to Udaipur Architecture Festival, and we promise you to you'll enjoy the festival to the fullest. Do register as soon as possible, and once again Team ASAP welcomes you to Udaipur Architecture Festival. Thank you so much.
आर्किटेक्चर का क्या कहूँ जी, मेरा प्यार शालीमार पुराना ज़माना, मेरा प्यार आर्किटेक्चर नया ज़माना। आज जाने की ज़िद ना करो। क्लाइंट्स हमें भी कह सकते हैं, हम उन्हें कह सकते हैं। रंजिश ही सही, प्लान फाइनल करवाने के लिए आप रोज का टोटा। So architecture festival is certainly a bliss. Maybe we know some new techs, maybe clients know some new techs, only if they got registered. वरना टैक्स हमें पता चल जाएंगे। उल्लू बनाया, बड़ा मजा आया।
Architecture is a frame of mind. It's about ideas, and the profession is about how to translate that ideas into world?
Hi. Actually, from my side, architecture is not only one thing, and it's not just an art. Actually, we have to deal with the real situation, and we have to do something good for the society. Thanks.
Architecture for me is always a definition of passion. आर्किटेक्चर हमेशा मेरे अंदर एक पैशन जनरेट करता है. आर्किटेक्चर मेरे लिए वो एक फीलिंग है, एक फीलिंग ऑफ फ्रीडम और एक फीलिंग ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन हमेशा जनरेट करता है. तो आर्किटेक्चर एक ऐसी फील्ड है जहाँ पे कभी भी दो चार नहीं होता. कभी भी कोई भी चैलेंज आपके सामने आता रहता है. सो एक तरह से आर्किटेक्चर आपको एक चैलेंज मास्टर बना देता है, जिससे कि आप हर ज़िंदगी की हर मुश्किल को आप फेस कर सकें. सो फॉर मी आर्किटेक्चर इज़ अ वे ऑफ एक्सप्रेसिंग माई पैशन टू द वर्ल्ड.
Hello everyone, by profession I'm an interior designer, and interior designing has changed my life completely because I got this as my passion. And when I first saw my design into reality, that changed my whole perspective towards interior designing. So I'm very glad that this is my passion, and today we are celebrating Udaipur Architecture Festival in Udaipur. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope we'll have a great experience because we are connected with international architects right now, and I hope it's going to be so good. Thank you.
Udaipur is going to have a Udaipur Architecture Festival 2020. So it is the first festival, one of its kind. उदयपुर जो एक विरासत माना जाता है पुरखों की, उसी को सजने और संवारने के लिए ये हम लोगों की एक कोशिश है, जिसमें बहुत से बाहर के आर्किटेक्ट्स भी आ रहे हैं. मैं आपको एक बताना चाहता हूँ कि आर्किटेक्चर सिर्फ एक 5 साल का कोर्स नहीं है. इट्स नॉट जस्ट अ 5-year कोर्स टू टीच हाउ टू बिल्ड अ बिल्डिंग, बट इट्स अ 5-year एक्सपीरियंस हाउ टू गिव अ लाइफ टू बिल्डिंग एंड टू सोसाइटी. सो बस इसी के साथ मैं चाहता हूँ कि जितने भी लोग हैं उदयपुर आर्किटेक्चर फ्रेटर्निटी के और जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो सब इसमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेट करें, और इस शहर को, जो कि खुद एक विरासत है अपने आप में, उसको और सजने संवारने में कैसे एक बेहतर अहम भूमिका हम निभा सकते हैं, अपना योगदान दें. एक बार सभी को फिर से इस फेस्टिवल की बधाई. थैंक यू.
So for me, architecture, in the words of Norma Foster, I would like to quote, the architecture is just not about aesthetics, it is an expression of values. The way we build is a reflection of how we live.
Let's celebrate Udaipur Architecture Festival 2020.
I believe architecture is more than just designing a building. It is about designing a lifestyle. Join us to celebrate Udaipur Architecture Festival 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Udaipur Architecture Festival, for giving this opportunity. I am an interior designer working in the industry from 1996, so it's 25 years. And it's first time for me, so you can understand the excitement and its value for me.
Yeah, hello all. He is joining in a minute. He had a failure and power failure, and his system got crashed. So it's rebooting, and he just sent a message that he's on the way. Maybe next few seconds he should be here. Just hold on, please. It is beyond our control. It's good that even in COVID times we are able to meet at least. So we have to bear with these technical glitches which are beyond our control, and especially when it comes to nature, we just cannot fight it out. My studio, can we have the rest of the videos by the time? Just a minute, I think, not more than that.
Architecture for me is like something. If you want to see a building, you want to see the story behind it, the struggle, the passion, the love, the dreams. तो उस बिल्डिंग के पीछे छुपी हुई कहानी को जब आप सुनते हैं तो आपको उनसे प्यार हो जाता है. उस प्यार का, उस वैल्यू का, उस पैशन का नाम मेरे लिए आर्किटेक्चर है. अपने इस प्रोफेशन के थ्रू मुझे अपने इस प्यारी सिटी को 2 तोहफे देने का मौका मिला, चेटक सर्कल एंड बड़ी लेक का ब्यूटिफिकेशन का वर्क. तो ये मुझे इस प्रोफेशन के ज़रिए जो तोहफा मिला देने को इस सिटी के लिए, मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार करती हूँ कि इस प्रोफेशन ने मुझे ये मौका दिया. एंड थैंक यू उदयपुर कलर्स, इन सभी रंगों को सब लोग पूरी दुनिया के पास पहुंचाने के लिए. थैंक यू अगेन, वंस अगेन.
एज ए आर्किटेक्ट मुझे लगता है कि डिज़ाइन करना इज़ ओके, लेकिन ऐसा इस फील्ड में आने के बाद मुझे ये फील हुआ कि यार जो क्लाइंट सोचता है ना अपने प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में, एक्चुअल में वो सही है। हमें अपने थॉट प्रोसेस को और अपनी डिज़ाइन को उसके अकॉर्डिंग बनाना चाहिए, ऐसा एज ए आर्किटेक्ट मुझे लगता है। ठीक है, हम स्पेशल हैं, हमें नॉलेज है, हमें समझ है, लेकिन मुझे ये लगता है कि जो क्लाइंट चाहता है, जो क्लाइंट की रिक्वायरमेंट है, जो क्लाइंट की नीड है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग प्रोजेक्ट बनना चाहिए एज ए आर्किटेक्ट मुझे लगता है। जैसा कि आप सबको पता है, ये हमारा इवेंट आ रहा है उदयपुर आर्किटेक्चर फेस्टिवल, और लेट्स सेलिब्रेट द आर्किटेक्चर।
Isn't this amazing to have the ability and the power to create what your imaginations are? I feel this is a blessing to me that I am in a profession like architecture, which gives me the power to bring what I think and what I imagine to reality, and it makes me feel how the buildings and the materials, the textures give me happiness. So I feel everybody should enjoy architecture like I do, and explore as much as we can. Thank you.
Architecture is not just a profession, it's a way of life. It builds us and it shapes the way we think. As it is not a singular profession, we architects, we do multiple things. One example is this ASAP Academic Foundation, which is bringing about Udaipur Architecture Festival to all of us. Let's celebrate architecture, UAF 2020.
So what I feel is architecture is about a sense of a place. You can relate it to how a place is being designed, or moreover a space is designed. It is directly related to the emotions of the people and a particular kind of experience which is created through that space. Basically a visual experience, a physical experience and an emotional experience. Thank you.
Architecture to me is designing a space where a person can feel that space, a person can enjoy that space, and he or she can live into that space. That's architecture to me.
God created the nature and architects create the buildings. I, on the behalf of the entire architecture fraternity of Udaipur, welcome you to the Udaipur Architecture Festival. I am excited to be a part of it. Are you?
Okay, welcome back. Paul is having problem with his power and system, and he has sent a message that he is sorry and he is still not able to connect. In his system it shows connected, but he is not able to log into our system. That means it is not connected actually. So what we are going to do is he is having a session tomorrow also, and he has okay, his message has come. Yes, we can defer it for tomorrow. This is the best. For some reason my Zoom won't connect to the Wi-Fi. Please apologize to everyone. So it's an apology from Paul, but it's apology from our side also. And things were beyond our control. They have had some serious problem with all internet and power issues in Israel. He will be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. for sure. Do not miss it. And he has volunteered to extend the session if required. Today we are a bit tight on the schedule, but tomorrow we have extra time, and he said he doesn't mind extending the time of the workshop so that we can finish what we intend to do. He wanted to give us an assignment, but unfortunately we could not do it. Technology has played a big role in our lives, and it's creating havoc also in our life. So ups and downs happen with every system that is introduced new into our life. So we just can't help it. Things are beyond our control. We apologize for the same. In the meantime, if you have 20 minutes, because there is another session at 3 o'clock, which is lighting solutions brought to you at doorsteps. So this is brought in by Ledloom. You can see that in Tech Talk section, Tech Talk auditorium mein jaake you can experience that lighting solutions ke bare mein. You will get to know a lot about lighting, especially students. You should attend that session. Somebody like me with 24 years of practice also, I have not been exposed to good lighting education. So this is the time that we learn more about it. You join in at 3 o'clock. In the meantime, we are trying to screen some movies in the theater. So next 2 minutes, you can log in into cinema and watch a movie of your choice. There'll be some movie being played. Probably it's The Architect. My studio team is working on it. And just watch 20 minutes, and then the rest you can watch after the sessions are done. So thank you very much for joining in. I really apologize, and see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock as far as Origami is concerned. Now at 4 o'clock, we have a big star in our bank of speakers. We have architect Bill Bensley. Bill Bensley has been working on multiple hotels, hundreds of hotels, and working at a very different scale altogether with amazing design philosophies. So we would learn from him how to get inspired from nature or whosoever the inspiration may be, he, she, it, kuch bhi ho sakta hai. So let us learn from him at 4 o'clock. But before that, 3 o'clock, we have technical session. Do join in, and 3 o'clock, make sure that you are here and in the Tech Talk section. 4 o'clock, do not miss Bill Bensley. Okay, for sure you will have many takeaways from that session. So let's meet at 4 o'clock with Bill Bensley, and I apologize again on behalf of Paul as well as our UAF team that we were not able to conduct the session properly because of technical issues. Thank you very much, and in the meantime you can browse through our stalls. There are certain new innovative products in our stalls. Just visit those stalls. They have been big supporters to us, and this festival is happening all because of those people. They have supported us a lot in terms of helping us on vouchers, helping us on portal, helping us on the internet and whatnot. So please make sure that you visit the whole of the portal. We have designed it specially for you. You can also go through the exhibition. We are trying to redefine the exhibition also. So browse through everything and experience architecture, celebrate architecture at UAF 2020. See you at 4 o'clock in the auditorium, same auditorium with Bill Bensley. Thank you. Till then, goodbye. back, and I apologize for the people who left, and Paul is back. Let's have a small session. We have, I think, 20 minutes. No, we have, I think, only 10 minutes. Paul, you can brief about your work maybe, and then we do the workshop tomorrow. Is it okay with you? Because 3 o'clock is another
that's okay. Yes, yes, I do apologize. We had a bad storm last night. We have them 2 or 3 times a year. Always the electricity goes out. It was raining when I started the presentation, and the electricity goes off for a second and comes back on again, and it's chaos. So I apologize, everybody, for that bad weather.
No problem, Paul. In these times we are able to meet. This is more than enough for us. Okay.
Okay. So yes, I'll do the workshop tomorrow in full. I hope, God willing, the weather willing, I'll be able to do it. Just feel very embarrassed, to get so far and then. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Paul. Can we browse through your works? Can you explain some of your best works that you feel were thought triggering? And we have 10 minutes, I think, before we start. We have 7 minutes. Yes. So can you?
Okay. Yeah. So I think that really this connection between folding and architecture, folding and design in general, or folding and engineering in general, is a very, very important connection, because it's a smart way, a minimal way to work. That you make things from one piece, or that you can make things in the end from many pieces put together, fabricating. But the inspiration comes from a folded form. I think for me, one of the important things about this way of working is that you can work very quickly. That you can try things and try things and try things, and every 2 seconds, half a second, there's something different when you're folding. So if you want to generate ideas, pick up some paper and play with it. This idea of playing is very important. And I think with all the technology that we have and all the skills that we have using different software, CAD software and so on, we're forgetting these, to just work with our hands, to find forms, to be surprised, to be shocked, to be disappointed in what we make. But there's always another one coming, another one coming. So when I work with people, this is something I stress to them a lot, that paper is a fantastic way to generate ideas quickly. Make a big messy pile on your table of things that you've made, things that you look at. Quick story. When I first started to teach about 30-something years ago, I worked for Siemens in Germany. I did some consultancy work for them. It's a big engineering company. I guess you know them. They're very big. And they took me to see a very old man who was at the top of some building in a studio. He was a retired senior designer. And I had no idea why I was seeing this guy. Oh, you fold paper. Oh, that's exciting, he said. So he took me to a plan chest, the long, thin, flat drawers that you keep, drawings in. Pulled it open, and it was full of folded paper that was held together with sellotape, and some of it was stitched, and it was dirty and falling apart. Yes, I made these at the Bauhaus school, he said, in 1924. You did what? You made that at the Bauhaus? Yeah, Professor Albers used to teach this, he said. So why did he keep them? Well, he said to me that he kept them, 60 years or something, because they were useful. Because when he was stuck for ideas, what does something look like? How does this connect? How does this go behind, in front? He would open this drawer of paper and look at all these folded things that he'd made 60 or something years before, in fact more than 60, to be inspired, that they were so important to him, that he'd kept them all these years and they were all falling apart. But he said he could not design without this reference from the Bauhaus that he'd kept, that they were so important. So I was very inspired by that. I was just starting out, on my journey to see this old guy who was really an inspiration. So this is my tip, that if you're looking for forms, for ideas, to do what we were doing before and just It's one of the pieces that we made. Just pick up some paper and play with it. Turn it round in your hands. Think about how you can change it, how it will look, from above and from below. Maybe just, surprise yourself and see what you can do. Now, not everything, of course, is going to be amazing, right? That there's a pressure to do things right the first time. But the good thing about paper is that you can design and design and design and design and design very quickly. So many ideas in 20 minutes will come out. Now, I know some architects do work this way, and some other designers as well. But look at this. Let me just move the camera. We were going to do this more leisurely, so maybe we'll do this tomorrow as well. But I want to show you just a little setup that I've got here. So excuse me if I move the camera. You have to sort of pull this out here. Yeah, okay, knock something over. Very good, Paul. So, all right, can you see that? This is the same piece. So, something as simple as this suddenly becomes a very interesting form for whatever you want to use it for, whatever the purpose is, as an inspiration for something. Turn it around. You can also make some, this is maybe not, it's not so great, but even some kind of roofscape doesn't really work, does it? This could be improved. So maybe you get an idea like this and think, oh no, I need more here and less there. So you make another one. Takes you at least 20 seconds. So you get all kinds of forms and shapes that you can play with. They're at all scales as well. I mean, these would be great for exhibition design, wouldn't they? Not just in concrete or whatever, but you could make those 1 meter tall, 2 meters tall, or whatever. In fact, I did some work for a big paper company. I used to go along to trade exhibitions and fold things for them, and their whole stand looked like it was folded. So here's another one that we did. It's slightly different, I guess, but they're just beautiful, aren't they? They're aesthetic, which is a reason to get excited anyway, I think. Oh wow, well that's, yeah. No, is that going to start? Yeah. So, look at that. Wow. So these are very nice, aren't they? So this is what we were going to do and what I was going to ask you to photograph, but we were sort of interrupted.
Yeah. Okay, Paul. So I think we are ready for the next session at 3 o'clock, and we have just 4 minutes to go. I really appreciate you coming back in spite of saying no, that it won't be possible now, I think. And you came back and you showed us something out of what we did, and really it changed at least my vision as to how to see paper henceforth. It is not just a plain sheet, 2-dimensional sheet, but it has a capability of transform into a 3-dimensional form, which can become a shelter or which can become just a sculpture. So thank you, Paul, and I hope you have accepted our request of extending the workshop if possible tomorrow.
Yes, let's do that. Yes, I feel very sorry that it was interrupted like this. So tomorrow is the big day, not today. Yeah. So please come back, everybody, and we'll see you same time tomorrow. And hopefully there's no rain and I have electricity.
Yeah.
So I apologize. Thank you, Sunil, for your patience.
No issues, Paul. These things are beyond our control, and we are happy that you shared it beforehand. I mean, in the morning itself, you sent a message that there might be a problem. So no problem. Let's pray and let's make sure that we meet tomorrow again at same time with the same enthusiasm and with lots of people. Okay, by the way, we had almost 210 people joining in our session currently, and it was going great, and suddenly then this thing happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Even then there were people waiting for you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sunil, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
See you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
In the meantime, in the festival Tech Talk, Paul, you can also join in. Okay. In the Tech Talk section, we have lighting solutions from LED Loom. So do join in into Tech Talk auditorium. Paul, you need to log in through our portal, and then you browse through the lobby and then go into Tech Talk section, so that you can experience lighting in a different mode. You see me again at 4 o'clock with architect Priyanka Arjun talking to Bill Bensley at 4 p.m. IST Indian Standard Time at Udaipur Architecture Festival 2020. Thank you. Have a great evening.